Hello everyone. Today I'm just playing around with the C major scale on the guitar, and I'm going to teach it to you. So this is the first scale we're going to learn. It's very important because it's played here in the first position, and we had talked about notes, memorizing the notes on the fretboard. So this is a great starting point, and on the guitar you use the C major scale a lot. As you can kind of see, I was playing in the key of C. I was just playing some chords, and all I was really doing is playing the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And I'm going to show you how to play this in 2 octaves. And so, again, you're going to get like a lot of a good use out of this. It's going to help you build some dexterity as far as your playing goes, and again, we'll mix in a little bit of theory and whatnot. And so, thanks for dropping by the website. By the way, I appreciate you supporting me and all that good stuff, and I hope you've been enjoying the videos, and feel free to make any suggestions, and I'll be glad to answer you and do any kind of new videos that you might be interested in if it's something I can do. So let's jump right in with this scale. So think of this C major scale or as a scale. This is kind of like your calculator in math, okay? You know, your major scale is how you figure out everything on the guitar, how you do chord spelling, and how you see how everything is put together. So that's one of the things that's really important about it. So we're going to start here with your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. It's going to be on the 4th string. And let me back up a second. Let's start off first by just playing a C chord, which we learned in the previous lesson. That's kind of why I wanted to do that. So notice that you already have, like when I play this scale, you already have 3 fingers on. You already have 3 notes out of the scale, okay? And we're going to play, as we go up this scale, see, there's that 2nd note. You're going to play all the open strings. Every time you come to an open string, you're going to play it. Okay, and the notes are going to be C, then your open D, then this next note is E, then F. Remember we talked before between E and F, there's a half step between E and F, okay? So 1, 2, 3, half step to 4. I'm going to show you something about how to do this as well. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, and again, this is B and C, so there's no sharps or flats between B and C. Okay. So let me do that real quick one more time. So you, and again for the sake of simplicity, you know, this is something else I like to do that you should be thinking of. While you're doing your picking, you can just kind of like, if you just keep your fingers just loose, just let them rest on the side of the guitar, or you can rest your hand on the side of the guitar, but try not to play with your hand in a fist, okay? That's really a hard way to play. I see a few people doing that, but you know, most of the players, 90% of them, are all going to be playing like this, okay? And see, if I'm strumming like this, see how my fingers, I'm not playing in a ball. I'm not playing like this. I got my fingers fanned out, and I can kind of just, you know, let them float on the guitar. Okay, so you want to kind of get used to that. I know that's really hard for people at first, but just get used to this habit, because eventually you're going to do it anyways, okay? So you might as well start doing it now. You know, why waste 3 years doing it like this and never improving, and then you know, you could have just been doing it correctly from the very beginning, okay? Okay, so bear that in mind. That's just one thing to think about. But for now, we're just going to do you're going to just pick down with your pick. Let me do that again. Okay. And now let me go through that again. So the musical alphabet in the key of C, you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay? Those are your notes. And it's really kind of funny how playing a scale will tend to make you forget your alphabet, so don't feel bad if you do, okay? It's mainly because you're used to starting on A and you're starting on C instead. So these are the notes. You got C, D, open D, E, and F. Remember, you can see there's a half step there. E, F, then open G, then A, then your open B string, and then your C note. That's an octave. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now what I like to do is, this is a good habit to get into doing, is I like to do 2 octaves. Okay? So we're going to go like this. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Now we're going to start over on this C. C, D, E, F, G. Now this part here, we need an A, and if you remember from our fretboard study, this is going to be A right here. So you're going to do your first finger. So see how I did this? This is critical to get this correct. And then I'm back on this C. When I go back down, I'm going to get my third finger there. So I'm going to do it again. So you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. It's a good way to end it, wasn't it? On a clunker. So then we go back down. Okay, if you get used to doing that, that will really pay off for you big time. And you want to sit down and practice this. Just cycle through it. Okay, you want to get used to just doing this just really to where it's mechanical almost. You can even take it all the way down as C, and here's your major 7th. So one thing that you can take note of, don't lose any sleep over, you will always notice that there's a half step between the last 2 notes of the scale. When you go C, D, E, F, G, A, this B to C, no, that's a half step. Every major scale is always going to have that half step back to the root, okay? That half step is the major 7th, and we'll get into that later, but just for now, it's called the leading tone because it leads you back into the scale. And you can see how important that is because, you know, like how I was playing when I opened up, if I play a C chord, so if you're playing with someone else, you can just play that C scale and you know. See that. I'm just making up stuff, and so that's really fun if you get that down to where you can you play your C chord again. That's why when you're playing with this, your hand, keep these fingers open, because then it's really easy to. Okay. So I can just go from strumming to picking. Okay, so, and also this, what I want you to do is I want you to associate, when you play this C chord, always associate this particular scale with that C chord, with that particular chord, okay? And it's nice to go up 2 octaves whenever you do this, and the main reason is because down the road you're going to like the fact that you can do 2 octaves, because now this puts me up in this area. Oops, I think I had a wrong note in there somewhere. But see, then you can have access to this other C major scale. So that moves you up and down the neck, okay, so to speak. And as we do this same scale in a closed position, we're going to do it, 2 octaves, okay? So you want to learn it that way now, right now, okay? So now one other thing I want you to do on these scales is that we want to give them numbers now, okay? So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. For now, just do that. Okay. And again, that's because these those numbers. That's what helps you create or do what's called chord spelling. It helps you create a chord that you may otherwise not know. Okay. Say for example, if someone said, well, play a C6, so and maybe at this point you may have been wondering, because I haven't talked about it, well, what does he mean? Where does the 7th come from? What does he mean by 7th? I mean, you know the D7 shape, but what does that really mean? Okay, or what if I say we did the D6? Wow, what does the 6th mean? What's he talking about? So let's say if we wanted to do a C6. That's where these numbers come in, and that's why when I opened, why I said that the scale is kind of like your calculator for figuring out things on the guitar. Okay, it's this numbering system. If we go again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Let's do numbers instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That note is an A, and see, and again, that gets back to earlier. Wow, if you learn those notes on your guitar, that's where now you can put them to use, because C6 means it's a recipe. We have a C chord, and we want to add a little bit of spice to it. We want to add a 6th chord to it, okay, or a 6th chord, a 6th note, okay, which we figured out was an A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if there's my C chord, well, this note's A, and if I just keep my C chord, just adding that note, that A note to it. Okay, this is kind of turning into a theory lesson, but it's really about the C major scale today. But just to give you an idea that now you kind of know, okay, don't lose any sleep over it, but now you know, oh yeah, it has something to do with numbers. That's where the 6 comes from, okay? That's how you use those chord recipes and cook the chord. That was probably like a really bad analogy, but anyways, that's where the numbers come from. Okay, then one last thing before we finish this lesson, and you've seen this countless times: whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Okay. I always find that really, really confusing, okay? And I have a better way of doing that. And it goes like this. It's 1, 2, 3, half step to 4, 5, 6, 7, half step to 8. So if you're going to go, if you wanted to do, say, for example, a C major scale on just one string. So remember, one, everything's a whole step, okay? So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, half step to 4. Right there, okay, so there's a half step. 1, 2, 3, half step to 4, 5, 6, 7, half step to 8, okay? 2, 3, half step to 4, 5, 6, 7, half step to 8, okay? And that's a much better way of doing it, and believe me, it'll save you from getting confused. I just like it so much better that way, and I didn't invent that. I learned that from someone else years ago, and I just thought, wow, that's nice. I really like that a lot, okay? And I've been using it ever since. Okay, so when you practice this scale, cycle through it, you got to do it like lots of times, lots of repetition. You know, you could be sitting, if you're sitting on your couch, you know, you could have your guitar in your hand, just, you know, if you're watching a movie, just doing this. Okay, just practice your scales like that. But it would be much better if you can't focus, okay? But you know, but if you're just really, you know, really into guitar, you can do. I used to do it all the time. Just sit there playing the guitar, playing the scales. And then let's see if there's anything else I can tell you about learning these. Oh yeah, do them slow. Always do them as slow as possible. And you can even do no tempo. Just and notice how your fingers are relaxed in between. You know, when you're playing the scale, even focus on in between the note that your fingers just should be relaxed. Okay. And then you can slowly speed up, and then I don't think we'll talk about alternate picking right now. We'll just kind of leave the whole picking thing out of this video because I tend to ramble on and just give way too much information. But maybe in the next scale, once you get this down, I think I'll do the pentatonic scale next, and we'll talk about some you know, different kind, you know, alternate picking and whatnot. But for now, you just want to get this down. Okay. Okay, folks. Well, thank you so much again for dropping by. That's it for this video. I think that gives you plenty to work on. Have fun with that, and we will see you next time around. And hopefully, I'll have something maybe a little bit more exciting than a scale. Okay, but you'll have fun with it once you start getting it down. Okay. Have a great day. Bye bye. See you next time around.